Greetings, you challenger trolls. I hope you're doing well. My name is Graham, and welcome to the Crack-A-Pack here on LRRMTG. Please subscribe to our little channel with all of our fun little Magic the Gathering content. Today, we're opening a pack of War of the Spark, and for sheer novelty's sake, we've decided to go with a pack that's in English for once, because it feels like I've opened War of the Spark more than any other set on Crack-A-Pack, and most of them have been in Japanese or German, I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the sense I'm getting. This was given to us by, that is not readable, black marker on dark blue tape. Where do you get dark blue tape? This was from Fuzzy Dyed at MF Seattle 2019. And we just assume that that stands for Magic Fest and not the swear. All right. Okay. I think I can recognize from the art that this is Kiora's Dam Breaker. Oh, it's nice having words. 5 and a blue for a 5/6 Leviathan. When Kiora's Dam Breaker enters the battlefield, proliferate. This looks like a big dumb snake, but it actually was okay. It wasn't bad. In a deck that cared about proliferating and had Kiora, for example, you could sort of ramp this out a little faster and then put counters back on Kiora, and then it was a big idiot that your opponents had difficulty blocking. I don't know, Kiora's Dam Breaker was actually okay. Chain Whip Cyclops for 4 and a red is a 4/4 Cyclops warrior that says for 3 and a red, target creature can't block this turn. And let me tell you, everyone remembers the first time they realized that of course you can activate that ability more than once per turn, and it's when they lost the game. Maybe I'm only speaking from personal experience, but it was like, all right, Chain Whip Cyclops, sure, and they'll make this not block, and then, okay, cool, yep, they're doing it, they're activating it, whether they're activating it again. That's not a tap ability. Oh no. They're gonna kill me with that. Yeah, the card was fine. It's a 4/4 for 5 in red, which is like, it's fine, it's fine. And then the Falter effect is expensive, but hey, if you got 8 mana, it's a good way to get around your Teo's Light Shield, 2 and a white for a 0/3 illusion. Didn't realize this was an illusion because it doesn't have the annoying illusion ability. When Teo's Light Shield enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So either you get a 1/4. This actually isn't a defender. Why did I assume this was a defender? No, it's an illusion, Michael. So it's a 1/4 attacker, or it's just a 0/3 that you can soak up some damage with, and you put the counter on something that can, you know, actually hurt them. This was a low pick. Return to nature. 1 and a green for an instant. Choose one. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or spin the big wheel to exile target card from a graveyard. Yay! Yes, nature is stronger. You don't see little buildings sprouting on trees. Wait, what? Oh, I see. This is from Amara from the Selesnya. That would be awesome. You're walking through the forest and there's like a little, like, weasel house growing on the side of a tree full of, like, I don't know, voles and ermine and stuff. I'd love that. That card's fine. Actually, the exiling from a graveyard was relevant in this format because of how good Aid the Fallen was. Aid the Fallen was we don't have that. But it was you get a creature and a planeswalker back from your graveyard if you have both of those. But we do have Kaya's Ghost Form. It's a single black mana for an enchantment, enchant a creature or planeswalker you control, and when it dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Actually, I think there's a point where you can intercede with this, where in response to that trigger, when it dies, you can exile it before it comes back with the Ghost Form, I think. That implies that your opponent's running Kaya's Ghost Form, and at that point you're probably in a pretty good spot anyway, because this is not, like, worth one of the 23 spots for cards in your deck, generally. But, I don't know. I saw it do things occasionally. You ever just see a magic card do things? Enforcer Griffin is next. It's 4 and a white for a 3/4 Flying Griffin. And it was a surprisingly good reliable card. That's all it does. There's nothing else. It's a 3/4 flyer for 5, and maybe that was all you needed some games. Oh, very strong early play here. Lazotep Reaver. 1 and a black for a 1/2 zombie beast. Love them zombeasts. And when it enters the battlefield, amass 1. And I'll read the reminder text in its entirety. Put a +1/+1 counter on an army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. So that was one of the big mechanics of this set. So basically on turn 2, you get a 1/2 and a 1/1. That's pretty great for 2 mana, you know? And then you can make that 1/1 larger, and then you have this 1/2 sitting around for sacrificing to sacrifice effects or chump blocking or something. It was pretty good stuff. Demolish, the land, the card, I couldn't remember what it was when we did this one a couple recording sessions ago in Japanese, I think. It's 3 and a red for sorcery, destroy target artifact or land. I never once saw this card cast. Law Rune Enforcer, single white mana for a 1/2 human soldier with a big funny stick. And for 1 and tap target creature with converted mana cost 2 or greater. Yeah, like most cheaply costed tappers, this could be very annoying, especially in multiples. I once played against an opponent that had 3 of these, and it's so annoying. I lost that game. I couldn't do anything. No matter how defiant I was, he said by way of strained segue into our next card, which is Defiant Strike. It's 1 white mana for an instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and you draw a card. Thank goodness you draw a card, because this card would not be playable otherwise. I mean, really, it's the +1/+0 is a bonus. It's just a cantrip. It's probably not worth running in most decks, but yeah. I'm just looking over the commons so far. Not spectacular. Of them, I'm just taking Lazotep Reaver. But the uncommons should get spicier, so let's see what we got. Ral's Outburst, because he's mad about it. 2 blue, red, not unjustifiably so. I don't want to sound like I'm digging on Ral for being annoyed that the Eternals are busting down his home. But anyway, 2 blue, red for an instant. Ral's Outburst deals 3 damage to any target. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Yeah, that's good stuff. You get to kill something, you get card selection. You could kill a Planeswalker, you could just dome them for 3 if you wanted. You could kill your opponent. The ever-popular Magic player exclamation as they tick their life down to 0. That goes face! At the time of recording, we're pretty new into Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and the first time you see someone realize that the ninja's kunai can go face is... it's a fun moment. I like the flavor text of this one too. Time to find the melting point of Lazotep. Does it have one? Surely that's the whole point, is that it's... Maybe it's just very strong and not indestructible. Bond of Revival is 4 and a black for a sorcery. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until end of turn. And it doesn't get sacrificed after that. You get a creature back and it gets haste. See, it's the bond, because everyone, okay, little flavor thing here. The bonds, there's a cycle of them. They are the guilds of Ravnica having to work together to fight the Eternals. So in this case, it's 2 guilds that share black as a color. So the Rakdos and the Golgari. So the Golgari says, we'll bring this creature back to the battlefield. And Rakdos goes, and we'll make it fast. And that's it. That's the tweet. So, yeah, I actually kind of dig Bond of Revival. I know some people didn't, but sometimes you just kill somebody. And only in the context of Magic cards is that sentence okay. Dovin, Hand of Control, 2 and an Azorius mana, so 2 and a white or 2 and a blue, for a 5 loyalty Planeswalker Dovin with a static ability, because of course they all had static abilities. Artifact, instant, and sorcery spells your opponent's cast cost 1 generic more to cast. And with a -1 of, until your next turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to and by target permanent and opponent controls. So Dovin was annoying. Dovin was just super irritating because it made your stuff more expensive. And artifact. The fact that he taxes artifacts is really quite frustrating. And then he just kept bubbling your biggest threat. So not like the scariest planeswalker, but just really irritating. This is a pack of irritating stuff. We have a goblin token, we have a forest, and our rare is, oh, very on theme, it's the Dread Horde Invasion. It's this set's worst Bitter Blossom. 1 and a black for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1. So on the first time that happens, you make your little 0/0, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. On your next turn, you put another counter on it, so you make it a 2/2. And you just sort of keep going like that. If it's big enough, the second ability is relevant. Whenever a zombie token you control with power 6 or greater attacks, it gains lifelink until end of turn. What I love about that is that they were very clever in making these zombie armies. So amass only cares about the army part, but they're still zombie armies. So the whole plethora of previous Magic cards that care about zombies care about these tokens. And it's possible to have a zombie token with 6 power that's not an army. I think there's some sort of like XX zombies, even in the new Innistrad sets. There's, you can, Geralf can make XX zombies that are just abnormally large. You know, so this could work in other situations, but it's just, it's a good reliable way to lose the game if your opponent manages to create a board stall and slowly lets your enchantment kill you. But it's also going to be my first pick because it's just the most powerful card in this whole pack. Probably the most valuable card in this whole pack. It's not. James is shaking his head. What's the most valuable card in this pack? Kaya's Ghost Form is the most valuable card in this pack?
Yeah. $1.63 for the pack, Kaya's Ghost Form, 67 cents. It looks like it's played in the
Kaya's Ghost Form is 67 cents, and that's the most valuable card in this pack because it's played in Commander, probably, we're assuming. That's not Dreadhorde Invasion. Considering how expensive Bitter Blossom was for so long, and maybe still is. Wow. I don't know anything about Magic prices. Luckily, we have this list. All right. Well, I'm still first picking Dreadhorde Invasion, and I'm just looking through this pack. Kaya's Ghost Form is like at the absolute bottom of my pick order. Possibly a 3-way tie with Return to Nature and Teo's Light Shield. Like, this is... Oh, Demolish. It's very low. Well, all right, hey. I don't know all kinds of different things about Magic, such as why people like that card. But they do. I like talking about it, so I appreciate this pack being from Fuzzy Died, who gave us the pack to talk about. It's awkward. I think I missed like half a sentence there, but that's fine. It'll all come together in the edit, which Matt does. James sits over there, and I am Graham, and I talk to you, and then when we're all done our parts, Heather gets them all online. You can support the show by going to Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun if you want to support us monetarily, or you can just follow the channel, or just watch it. Just watching it is enough. I'm glad you're here no matter what you do. If you want to send us a pack, like Fuzzy Died did, well, Fuzzy Died gave it to us at MF Seattle, and that's going to be a while before that happens again. But you can send one to us at the address on your screen, and I've just decided to do this outro in the weirdest order ever. I don't know, keeping it fresh for my own amusement. Thanks for watching, everybody. More of the Spark in English. What a concept.